This is my 2010 Honda Accord that was in a crash, and I'm going to rebuild it along with 25 other cars to get my dream car, a McLaren 720S. These are all the parts that we need to fix the car, especially the frame. This is where all of our damage is. Thankfully, it's just right here because 6 inches over right here, we have an airbag sensor where if this got hit, it would have sent off the airbags in the car, making this repair a lot more expensive. But thankfully in my favor, we just have to replace these two parts. And it's already similar to the work that we did on the other Accord. Let's get these off. In order to make the location safe to work in, all of this has to go out. First, we're going to remove the air box and the filter that's inside it. It's not that dirty, but it's still getting thrown away. The top of the air box is going to come off with the battery cover and then following the battery. These have to be removed not only for safety, but so that we can get out the lower air box held in by that bolt. Then this gives us access to the ECU. 3 clips off, and she's out. Lastly, we're going to take all of these wires and we're going to try and push them as far away from the apron member as we can, as well as removing the grounds and the airbag sensor. And this should give us a safe spot to work. With any other car, I would typically remove all of the drive components. However, I'm just going to be replacing everything that's right there. So if something gets damaged, has some weld spots on it, or some spatter, I really don't care because literally everything right here is going away. There's only 2 things that are staying, and that's the actual forks and the anti-roll bar. We are now to the point where we can start removing this and this. So let's start marking all the spot welds that need to come out. This is going to help simplify everything so that we're not searching around for what needs to come out. We're going to start some pilot divots or a pilot hole in order to try and get this bit to work. And it clearly doesn't want to work. With disconnecting it, we could see how much pressure this apron was actually on.
That's how that's supposed to work. Clean off, baby. Heck yeah. Let's get a smaller bit.
We're going to use a drill to actually give a small divot now. And hearing it click is telling us that the panels are separated. Here's a closer view.
Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do.
The little divot gets drilled, the bit goes in, and the panel pops apart. We're going to do this around for all the other ones, and then slowly pry it out until the apron is fully removed.
Oh, just freaking botched! Oh. Yay! Okay, I actually have to sign this car with my blood now. Woohoo! My car, nobody else's car. It's my car, that's my blood.
After taking care of some minor injuries, now we have to prep every panel in order for it to be welded. Each of the little spots where spot weld was is going to be ground down flat so that we can have a good mating surface. There's a little bit of a ring from the tool, but it'll still work. Even after removing all of those parts, there's still going to be problems with the other ones, so we're going to hammer out this little buckle and just be gentle. Now the new parts come to the workbench where we can grind down the material to have open bare metal and have a proper surface to weld to. We're going to drill some holes so that some of the welds go easier, but not all of the locations are going to get a hole punched, just for some where the weld will need a little bit of help. The parts then get cleaned, and the area gets prepped for welding. We've got just about everything prepped. We've got these surfaces grinded down so that they've got a clean mating surface too. We've got all of the new parts grinded down. They have the holes punched that they need. I think we're going to start with this piece first, just because that slots in right here. And if we can get it tack welded up here and then some down here on these corners, I think that that's going to give us our best bet, and then we can work with everything else. Because with this in a relative location, again, everything else should just line up. This part always scares me the most. I've only ever welded one other car, and so far it hasn't fallen apart. Let's keep moving forward. Before we start welding, all of the parts are going to go in for a test fit, and then are going to be held in place with some vice grips to make sure that they stay. Round 2 of welding yet another Accord, and I still have no idea what I'm doing. She is still not pretty, but that's not going anywhere. I forgot to just tack weld this. Hang on one second.
These welds don't necessarily have to be pretty. They just have to be strong enough to bond the two metals together so that they don't break apart. If we remember from the first episode, these are non-structural frame pieces, meaning that they don't have to be in the exact millimeter position for the car to pass a safety inspection. All of the high welds are going to get ground down, then everything will be hit with the steel wire brush so that we can make sure to get all of the contaminants out. We'll do one more go over with some brake cleaner to get it prepped for some primer and a paint. Putting some cold galvanized on the material is always a good idea, because this will not only cover the material and help give the paint a primer to hold to, but it also carries properties that help the material not rust over time.
Give me a little bit more. Please! I'm begging you! Bought Ford paint. We're gonna hope that this works. Oh, that is so much darker. Oh well.
For this, the paint does not have to be an exact match, because all of the parts are going to be covered. It does help to have it be a little bit closer though, but in the grand scheme, it truly doesn't matter.
We're now at the grand reveal where the paint has dried and we can actually see how close of a paint match it was. And the reveal is, it's a little bit too dark. But honestly, it really doesn't matter, because you're never going to see this part on the car. Even with the engine bay open, you're still not going to see it, because the ECU sits here. You've got air ducts coming up. You've got a battery that sits right here. You're never going to see any of this. And if you do, it's going to be very dark, so you're not going to be able to tell if the paint is matching or not. Plus, I didn't even need to paint it, but to me it feels a little bit more complete if, I actually paint it. But this is honestly looking a lot better than this. I now get to keep this as a trophy to show the work that I did on this car, the same way that there's the fender from the 2016 Honda Accord that I rebuilt, and if you haven't seen that, you should go and watch it. With this frame in, and it's all done and connected to the car, and we can shake it, and nothing breaks and nothing moves, now we've got to replace all of the drive components in the front and in the rear. If you want to see that, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next adventure. Cheers.